We're going to move on to the Super Bowl losers, the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, it brings joy for me to say that, not have to call them champions. But they do, in fact, have the 10th overall pick because the Saints are stupid. Just straight up. That's really all I can say about that. And they're going to go with a Penn State guy, Joey Porter. The other two corners were already off the board, and they desperately are going to need corner help. They're getting rid of Bradbury. They're getting rid of CJ. So, they're going to need corner help. And their defense is going to start to fall apart pretty quickly here if they can't recoup some of those losses, find some value. They're losing a whole bunch of guys on defense. They're just going to lose them because there's not enough money to go around.
And that defense is very much secondary oriented. We saw it last year. Slay, Bradbury were the driving force along with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to be like what made their defensive front eat like it did was the fact that quarterbacks had to hold on to the ball. So going out and getting somebody who could potentially replace Bradbury, who won't be there very long.
Might even have to replace Slay. Slay's on the trade block. So it's an interesting situation going on in Philly, and I don't really know what they're going to do about it. But we move, and with the 30th pick, I took Anton Harrison. And I know what people are going to say. Why are they taking O-line help? We talked about this in our mock draft 1.0. You have to keep developing that O-line. Your two best O-linemen are getting older in Lane Johnson and Travis Kelce. They might not be around for very much longer. Then you have Landon Dickerson, who's a dog. But he's going to move to center when Kelce's gone. That's just what's going to happen.
And the quickest path to sustaining a potential dynasty and building a perpetual winner is a team that is strong on both fronts. And they drafted a defensive tackle last year when they didn't need one. Jordan Davis wasn't somebody that a lot of people viewed as a need for the Eagles, and they went out and they addressed it because they're and
he didn't even play this year.
The road, he might be somebody who we look to, even though we're trying to win a Super Bowl right now. We want to win multiple. So I definitely understand, continuing to build the trench pipeline.
It's just something that they've been good at, and I feel like it's something that's going to continue here. Moving on, I did pick a running back. I know people are mocking them with, Robinson and Gibbs and stuff like that. I think they're going to wait a little bit, and they're going to get a guy who's an interesting case, and that is Zach Evans. He was at TCU. He was good at TCU. He got the move to Ole Miss, Mississippi, whatever you want to call it, and he came in and everyone was like, this guy's going to be the guy, and he's going to help Jackson Dart go to the next level type thing. And that is not what happened. A true freshman came in, and after an injury to Zach Evans, kind of stole the show and became the leading rusher in the SEC, I believe. So Evans hasn't gotten much talk this year, even though he is is probably a lot higher on my board than a lot of people's boards. So I went with him at 63. And then lastly, continuing to build that secondary. He's not a one-of-one to CJ, but I think he can fill that role, and he's an athletic grinder type of guy, and that is Sidney Brown out of Illinois. We know he's an athlete. He showed it at the combine. We know he's a good football player. He showed it in Mobile. Every opportunity he's had to improve his draft stock, he has taken and he has run with. I think he probably goes higher than 94 or whatever. I think he goes higher than that, but he's here and he's a perfect fit. And this makes the Eagles extremely scary to go against, scarier than they already are.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's one of the more versatile players in the draft. And they just, they're on the verge of losing Gardner-Johnson, and you go out and you replace him with somebody who can do a lot of the same things. A comp that, that Brown keeps getting is Talanoa Hufanga, and a lot of 49ers fans are looking at, they're looking at scenarios in which he could go to another 49ers-esque system or teams that play their back end in that kind of way and move around their safeties. That's exactly what Philadelphia does. They like moving their guys around. That's why CJ was so good there. So definitely going out and getting another safety would be perfect.